Welcome to the SAP Entertainment Show, where I interview singers, rappers, entrepreneurs of all walks of life. And today's special guest, we have a talented singer-songwriter by the name of Olivia Beck. How you doing today?
Thank you for having me today. I'm doing awesome.
That's what's up. So, let the world hear your story.
Well, I've been living out in LA for the last 3 years. I'm originally from the East Bay area, California. That's why I'm seriously living for that background right now that you have.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, and I've been singing since I was 3. Really started performing around 18, and I'm 27 now. And it's just been sort of on and off performing everywhere, but I got to finally dip my toes in at some open mics, and that's how I got connected inevitably to you and your podcast.
That's what's up. So how long have you been doing music?
A really, really long time. I finally was able to get performance experience about almost 10 years ago. As of next year, it will definitely be 10 years ago. Been singing as long as I knew that I could, since I was 3, and I've been songwriting. I've really been getting serious about songwriting around the same time that I started performing. And singing is something I love, that I know I'm pretty good at, but I feel like my real passion, my unwavering passion, definitely is in some of the songs that I write.
That's what's up. So what style of genre is you?
That is the best question, because I don't even really know. I've pulled a lot of influences, the most soulful influences from pretty much every genre. So if I have to settle on one, it would be that sort of soul pop type of deal. But my heaviest influences are all from British pop, British R&B, American R&B, blues, a little bit of the greats. Anybody with just a really good voice and a really amazing standard. Oh, and jazz as well. There was a lot of jazz growing up that was playing around.
That's what's up. So who is your biggest influencers?
Ooh, okay. Stevie Wonder. For sure. Celine Dion. I would say Christina Aguilera. I remember as a kid, it was always when you would play pretend, because it was before phones and everything. My friend would always be playing Britney, but I would always be Christina Aguilera, because I was like, Britney's cool. Christina's got the voice though. And that's always what's just attracted me about music, and specifically about singers, is, when they have that kind of soulful connection, So those would probably be my top 3 for sure. And then anybody just varying from there, has been really, really great influences for me.
That's what's up. So describe your creative process when you write a song.
Ooh, that's a good question. I will normally start with a feeling, like everybody, and it will often be kind of just feelings that I can't put into words. So if I'm just speaking casually with some friends and families, and I'm really, really starting to get repetitive with this feeling, this emotion I'm trying to come out, at that point, that's when I'm okay, I can't say it, I can sing it though. And I'll often, it kind of depends and differs depending on the song. I have one song called 2 Hours, which pretty much wrote itself from beginning to end. Every once in a while that happens and I love it. Other times I'll just start with a hook, or I'll start with verses, and then I'll just kind of fill in between with words and melody ideas, and I just kind of make it fit together as best I can.
That's what's up. So how many albums or EPs do you currently have?
Albums and EPs combined, none just yet, because I'm mostly on features. Like on Spotify, you can find me as a featured artist on this little sort of EDM track by Polarize. And then one of my other really good friends who also songwrites, Whoa_Milo. I am featured on 2 songs with him. And then, yeah, I got a SoundCloud as well. I feel like that's so old school now. Nobody's got SoundClouds anymore, but I'm still rocking one. I'm totally am. So no shame in that. And then I also have this blues duo out here. One of my best college buddies, Harrison, he and I do blues, like really kind of a whole fusion of soul and like his sort of, I don't want to say country, but it's very like Laurel Canyon-esque, sort of like 1969, 1970s-esque. He adds that, and then I add my own flavor to it. So we're doing more, or trying to record more, and hopefully get maybe an album or an EP going, hopefully by next year. But till then, we have a gig at the Kibitz Room this Saturday.
Okay. All right. So where is this gig located?
It will be, if you know where Cantor's is on Fairfax, it's connected to this cute little dive bar that I shouldn't say is cute. It's got like a lot of history. Apparently the Ramones did some shit there that the waiters and waitresses love to brag about, that they can't even say. It's not able to be discussed, but lots of rich music history at their little bar. It's called the Kibitz Room on Fairfax, and yeah, there's music all the time, open mics there on Sundays. But we will be having our own show, Olivia and Harrison, this Saturday at 8:30.
Okay. So you guys better make it out.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, I normally put the artist on the spot. Do you mind giving us a little 15 seconds of what you can possibly do?
Of course. Any requests or just spitball it?
Whatever your heart's telling you to do.
Sure. When you're weary, feeling strong, and when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and fractures can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay it down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay it down.
Ooh, okay. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. You know, I have, I make music. I produce music. I also sing, and I'm looking for some artists, so I can work with them one-on-one, and we can just get some real music done. Okay.
I would love that. And I love what you're doing too, connecting with other artists.
Yes.
It's important, especially after COVID. A lot of people sort of felt like socially displaced. So you doing what you're doing, I love and respect it so much. And I can't wait to hear your stuff as well.
Oh yeah, girl. Oh yes. You will soon.
Yay.
But anyway, yes, you just blew me away with that one. But you kind of discombobulated me a little bit. Oh yeah.
My bad.
Okay, so, when performing and the crowd is singing along, how does that energy make you feel?
It validates me on such a deep level, because like growing up, I really didn't feel like I could do anything else. I just kind of always knew since that age of 3, it's like, oh, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing. Um, and really, truly, not a lot of avenues like that were opening up. There would be like the occasional choir solo here and there, but that didn't have as deep of a pull. So when I really started performing from 18 onward, and whether it was covers or whether, like, now I kind of mix covers and originals because I'm sort of at that point where I'm able to, like, seeing people kind of bounce along or listen or start mouthing or doing like a call and response. It's just, it just tells me, like, in my soul, like, yes, okay, this is it. This is where you're at. This is where you're supposed to be. And I love it.
That's what's up. So what obstacles did you have to overcome to get this far in your life?
Whew, a lot. A lot. The major one definitely was moving, because, like, I was the baby of the family and the baby of the friend group. So moving, when I wanted to move out to LA, that was a colossal deal. One of the songs that I actually sing and perform at my gigs, it was actually written by one of my best friends as a response to me leaving, because it was a crazy time. And, you know, even before that, just, you know, getting involved with the wrong people, getting involved with toxic relationships, you know, having a little bit of a suicidal ideation. I hate to mention that on your podcast and bring it down a little bit, but it's true. It's totally true. And, you know, there was also some illness in my family as well, like regarding my mom. So a lot of that developmental time that I could have had with her becoming a teenager, it just didn't happen. So I think that onset a lot of my emotions, and if anything, it gave me the best fodder ever once I was ready to do more music, to really pour that into lyrics. And I think that's really what ultimately gave me my passion for songwriting, because I think enough was going on, especially when you're like a young kid and a teenager. It's like, okay, you gotta figure out a way to process this, for sure.
So is that the meaning in all your songs? Just what you're pretty much going through?
Pretty much, yeah. I've just only recently learned, like, the power of manifestation, and truly how far of lengths that could take you. And I'm kind of curious to see, or not even curious, I'm willing to experiment a little bit more in that in my next stages of writing, because really all it has been up to this point is just, this is what I've experienced and this is what I've taken from it. And while I love the wisdom that comes from what I write, at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be in pain and I don't want to be miserable all the time. Like, you know, I want to take other more creative ventures. That's why I also love collaborating and songwriting with other people too, because they could just tell me, hey, this is a beat that I like, this is the vibe I want, go. And that just kind of unlocks a whole other potential. But
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so besides music or singing, what else are you good at?
Well, currently I'm working as like an assistant manager of a wholesale beauty distributor. So, and I really didn't realize this until about a week or two ago. I've been working in beauty, or like in the beauty field, for also the last 10 years. So that is kind of something I'm beginning to realize that I am passionate about, and not like the beauty guru makeup type stuff, but just really explaining, you know, what products are good, especially with skincare, because we only get one skin. So it's important to take care of our canvas and, you know, use sunscreen and don't over exfoliate, and just like feel the best. And feeling the best starts with taking care of yourself. So that is something I've noticed that I'm really starting to get more into. And my raise at work is kind of reflecting on that as well. So I can't complain there.
That's what's up. So do your family help support you with anything you do?
Thank God, yes. Thank God, yes. My dad Had a little bit of a harder time though, because I feel like my mom always had that free spirit. She lived in San Francisco and Berkeley and Oakland, and she lived in like those sort of hipstery, artsy areas before ever meeting my dad. And I'm like totally her blood, so she gets it. My dad comes from a school administrative background, so he was just, and every once in a while he'll still get like this, but going into it, like in the beginning stages, he's like, no, you just need to land a good paying job, maybe in administration, maybe as a secretary, just something.
That's great that your family is like the biggest support, because you see how Kanye West's mother just really loved everything he did. Like she was his biggest motivator, you know?
Man, oh my goodness, she absolutely was. If I could be real too, like I feel like no one really goes in depth, especially where Kanye West is concerned. Nobody goes into depth about how important musicians and artists' mental health is. And, you know, how it really does, like sometimes the worse it gets, the better the music is.
For sure, yeah.
And that does need to open up and be a better conversation rather than just a headline of what shenanigans you're doing on social media, you know?
Exactly.
And I know that would require literally changing a whole system, but, you know, I'd like to help if any way. I'd love to be part of that discourse to keep it going, because I don't think it's going to begin or end with Kanye West, both the good and the bad discourse, but it needs to be a discourse that we have, especially as artists and especially as people who have mental health, that you never just stop taking care of that. I think we've seen so many generations prior to that where, you know, that was never a concern. That was never something they put at the foreground, and it directly impacted the type of society we live in today. So I'm glad that that's sort of changing.
Any advice that you would love to give any up and coming artists that want to follow your footsteps?
Be afraid and keep going. Because
it's a fear thing.
It is totally a fear thing, but honestly, every single time I've been afraid, especially as it related to something like this, especially as it's related to music and something I know 100% I just love and cannot live without, the more it scares me, the more I have to do it, because that's going to take you to the next step. And it's like a body in motion stays in motion, a body in rest stays in rest. And that's not just for our physical, mental, emotional, that's for everything. So, you know, you want to go to that open mic, you don't know anybody, you're freaked out, you have a little bit of social anxiety, pop some CBD and go, because all the opportunities there are going to be there.
Or smoke some THC and go.
I wanted to mention that, but I was like, I don't know if I should.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever you do. If you want to smoke while you're talking to me, it's whatever. Sip some, hey.
Yeah, whatever calms you down. And like in the case of meeting Superiorjay, that got me connected with you, I went with one of my best friends. I was like, hey, you want to tag along? So anything you want to do that you're scared of, just keep being scared, but just keep pushing forward. Like I had one of the people that really got me into performing was one of my old college teachers and my producer, Steve Sage. And he would literally be like, you're not leaving this classroom until you talk to one new person that you didn't already know the name of. And you just got to wash, rinse, repeat. You just got to keep doing that. Keep doing what you're afraid of, because that's going to be what keeps you going.
And you guys heard it first. Before we end this segment, is there a question that I may have missed that you would love to share with the world?
No, honestly, I think you kind of got it all covered. Oh, do they want my Instagram handle?
Yeah.
I am on Instagram at itsoliviaaah, itsoliviaaah. So kind of sounds like you're shouting it. It's Olivia or something.
Okay, it's Olivia. Y'all heard that voice, so she got it for real. Thank y'all for tuning in to SAP Entertainment Show with me, your host, Sarah Soulstress, and your girl, Olivia Beck. And make sure y'all like and subscribe, and also stick around because I'm going to play one of her clips from her Instagram video titled 2 Hours. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
Feel like I need closure. I don't know you nothing, this ain't about you, boy, you got your exposure. Feels like the end of a war now. Don't know how excited through all of these horses and how we